Plan for the mega fight with you and Crawford for 150?
If we can make it at that weight division, I mean, whatever weight division I'm at, if wherever we still boxing at the same time, let's do it. I'm down to fight any one of these motherfuckers. I ain't here for the money. I'm here to win. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, the money already here, and I got it already, and it's gonna come. Mo gonna come, but why would I get in the ring over, an injury? You know what I'm saying?
Jermell Charlo has officially called out Terence Crawford for a potential showdown if Crawford manages to defeat Canelo. However, Crawford isn't thinking that far ahead. He's made it clear that he's not focused on long-term plans and prefers to take things one fight at a time. Crawford added that he feels great, is in good health, and is simply looking forward to whatever challenges come his way next.
How long do you want to be actively fighting?
I don't know.
It's not something you think about. You're just going fight by fight.
I always take one fight at a time. One fight at a time. I feel great. I'm healthy, and like I said, I'm looking forward to having some fun.
Moreover, Terence Crawford stated that if he were to retire undefeated with a record of 42-0, he'd be completely satisfied, knowing it was a decision made mutually with his team. He explained that he's already made history and accomplished everything he set out to do, and if he walks away now, he'd do so on his own terms, with no regrets and nothing left to prove.
You were to not fight again, you'd be undefeated at 42-0. Would that satisfy you?
If that was the decision that I made, my team made, for me to walk away, away from the sport, then of course I'll be, content and happy because that's the decision that I made. I'm not going to make something, that I'm not comfortable with. I had a great career. I've done some tremendous things in the sport of boxing. I made a lot of history. What can I not be proud of if I walked away from the sport right now? I don't have no regrets because everything that I did it my way. So if I was to walk away from the sport right now, I wouldn't have no reason to hold my head.
However, another potential opponent eyeing a showdown with Terence Crawford is none other than David Benavidez. Crawford acknowledged that Benavidez is a massive fighter who might struggle to make 168 pounds at this stage, looking more like a natural 175-pounder. He emphasized that people need to be realistic about the size differences, but maintained full confidence in his own abilities, insisting he can beat anyone who stands across the ring from him.
If you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. When you look
right not now, it's at 175. Yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 no. But when you look at these fights, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, say, all right, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he could fight his ass off, But me personally, I believe in my skills and my ability. I could be in.
Jose Benavidez Sr., David's father and trainer, stated that Terence Crawford's coach, Brian Bomac McIntyre, isn't interested in the fight at this moment. He explained that their main focus is David's upcoming bout on November 22nd in Riyadh, and they'll consider future plans afterward. Jose added that their goal is to make history by pursuing the biggest fights possible, and if Crawford's team is genuinely serious, they would gladly accept the challenge to give fans the matchup they want.
I heard Bomac that he does not want Crawford to fight David Benavidez. So right now, I believe that we have a tough fight, man. November 22nd. I don't want to get ahead of my fight, and we're super focused 100% on getting to Riyadh and making that fight happen and keep proving ourselves and show the people who David is. Let's see what happens after that. Like I said, I will tell you though that it will be easy because we'll be fighting. If everything goes well, we'll take a couple of weeks off and the weight will not be a problem because we will already there kind of. So, at the end of the day, it's, my job as a manager is to get them the best fights and train them as a trainer. And, we want to make history, brother. So, and if the people want that fight and people think that that's a good fight, and if Bomac and Terence Crawford want that fight, why not? We're here to please the fans.
Jose added that a Crawford-Benavidez fight wouldn't be an easy one for Crawford, referring to his son as the Mexican monster. He emphasized that David is young, big and throws punches nonstop, unlike Canelo Alvarez. While he acknowledged Crawford as the pound-for-pound best, he warned that David's power and relentless pressure might simply be too much for an aging Crawford to handle.
Give them what they want. You know, I think David's too big for Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford will be like 38 years old, you know? I mean, it will not be the same as Canelo, man. We know David comes in and throws a lot of punches and put the pressure. And no disrespect to Terence Crawford, he's the best pound for pound. He's in the books to do history. He did something that nobody could do. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the Mexican monster, you know? David's young, strong, super big for Terence Crawford. And, you know, even Terence Crawford said that Kavaliauskas or whatever hit harder than Canelo because the power's not there anymore. With David, it's a different story.
Jeff Mayweather shared his thoughts, saying that David Benavidez has become the fighter most competitors try to stay away from, a fact that only raises his stock in the boxing world. He mentioned that if the money is right, the matchup could still be made, depending on how much interest Crawford actually has. As for Canelo, Jeff believes the smartest path after a defeat would be to chase a rematch, regain his status and quiet down all the criticism.
At the same time, I mean, Benavidez is also the one guy that nobody's willing to fight. And if nobody's willing to fight him, that makes his value go up. And so the thing is that if you get the right guy that is willing to pay for that, and I mean that the Sheik, I don't see him saying that, okay, well, we can't afford to fight this guy. Okay. So I mean, that fight can happen if it's a fight that I think Bud won't entertain.
And what if you're Canelo? I think the one thing you could possibly want is that rematch. You get that a little bit of that legacy.
Eddie Hearn opened up about what could be one of the most intriguing matchups in modern American boxing: Terence Crawford versus Jaron Boots Ennis. According to Hearn, this fight isn't just exciting on paper. It represents a generational clash between a proven legend and the sport's next unstoppable force. However, he admitted that making this fight a reality wouldn't be easy. Crawford, now an established superstar, would need a massive financial incentive to even consider stepping into the ring for a battle of this magnitude. But beyond the money, there's also deep respect involved. Hearn explained that Crawford knows exactly how dangerous Boots Ennis is, not out of fear, but out of recognition. He sees in Ennis a reflection of who he once was: fast, sharp, fearless, and eager to prove himself to the world. Boots doesn't just want big fights, he needs them to confirm his greatness. For Eddie Hearn, this fight would be a true passing of the torch moment, one that could define the next era of American boxing. And if it ever happens, it might just become one of the most talked about showdowns in recent memory.
Terence Crawford against Jaron Ennis, for me, is the best fight in American boxing. But it needs to be a payday for Crawford that would get him interested, because Crawford knows how good Boots is. And I'm not saying that Crawford thinks he's going to lose to Boots, but he knows that is a real fight. But for me, Boots is the new Crawford. We've just got to go out and get the fights to show how great.
When asked whether he's still interested in a potential clash with Terence Crawford, Jaron Boots Ennis didn't hesitate to shut down the idea. For now, he made it clear that his attention is locked solely on his next fight, scheduled for October 11th. Ennis explained that thinking about anything outside his immediate goal only creates distractions, and distractions have no place in his world. With laser-sharp focus, Boots emphasized that every ounce of his energy is being poured into preparation for what lies ahead. He isn't chasing headlines, responding to call-outs, or worrying about anyone outside his division. Right now, his mission is simple: stay disciplined, stay ready, and deliver another statement performance when the bell rings.
In a fight, Crawford, is this still a fight that you have interest in?
My main focus right now is October 11th. That's all I'm worried about. October 11th. I ain't worried about no outsiders. You know, I'm locked in. That's how when you pay attention to what you got in front of you and you think ahead. That's how things happen. You know, my main focus is October 11th. And that's it.
That's it for today's video, folks. But now we want to hear from you. What do you think about everything that's been said? Do you believe this matchup could actually happen, or is it just another story that keeps the boxing world buzzing? Share your honest thoughts in the comments section below. We love reading your takes and seeing how fans view these situations from every angle. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated with more trending boxing news, behind-the-scenes stories, and explosive revelations from the world of combat sports, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload.